Everybody, good to see you again. I'm glad you stopped by. So today I want to talk about these alternative drumsticks that are out there. Uh, these are called thunder rods. I think there are others that are called hot rods. They come in like different shapes and thicknesses here. If you look at this bundle of sticks, they come in different thicknesses, varieties, and then I picked this thing up, which is more like a brush. Very interesting. You get it very light. You get a different texture on the drum set. I've been playing a lot of these some house parties and rooftops. I've been in the New York City subway playing, so the volume has to be at a certain level. You can't be very loud in a lot of these gigs, so I've been using a smaller drum set, tiny drum set, very small. What do I call it? My groove kits. I made a video. There's a couple of videos out there of my shrinking the drum set. But these actually help volume-wise, where you can still keep kind of sizzling. You can keep the groove going with these, and they're lighter. The attack is less on the drums, and but what happens to these, I've noticed, and these don't come cheap. I think I dropped like $14 on these, and this is what winds up happening. See this? They start to frail and chip, and I wound up having to put some duct tape on them just to keep them together so I could still use them. Did the same thing with this. This is another variety of sticks. So what happened was over the summer I went into the dollar store. And they had like this barbecue grill section, and I noticed a package of these skewers. Skewers that you skewer meat and like a tomato or a pepper, and then you put it on the grill. So I don't have the package with me, but the package was $1 for I think they were like maybe 25 of these skewers in there, and I noticed that the skewers, and you're gonna think I'm nuts, but I wound up buying 2 packages of the skewers because I noticed, and this is what the skewers look like bungled. I bungled them together. I took them out of the package, and I thought, you know what? These look very much like those blast sticks or thunder rods. I'm like, look at that. And these are only $1. And these were only $1 for like, I think they were 30 in this bag. I bought 2. I spent $2, and you can see they look very much. If I pick up the thunder rod, a little bit different, but still. So my brain said, let's see if we can make our own, and that's what I wound up doing. So these are just bungled together. I used, and I'll show you what I used. I just used twine. See this? I wrapped the twine around the bungle, like so, right? And I tied it up. I fastened it, made it tight, and then I wrapped the twine with this duct tape. Right, and I thought, okay, that's cool. Maybe let me try to use them. But what was happening with this prototype was that these skewers, and you can see them coming out now. As soon as you start to whip, what happens is, and you can see it happening here. See the inside? The skewers on the inside started to creep out and slide out, and then the whole thing just fell apart in my hand. So I was like, dang, it didn't work. It's like, how is it that these other like thunder rods, that doesn't happen. That phenomenon doesn't happen, right? So I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna frail these open, and I'm just gonna drop some glue inside here and glue the insides together. That should glue the insides together. That was my hypothesis or theory, right? So I went out and I picked up Gorilla Glue. This is good stuff, strong stuff, right? So I haven't done it to this one yet, and I'm gonna do that right now just to show you how I did it. But I wound up These two are my prototypes, and I definitely used too much glue here. You can see how the glue is just caked up in here, so I got to use less glue. So this was my first prototype. But you know what? The skewers inside the middle, they don't, when you whip with that whipping motion, they stay put. So I kind of sealed the deal here, and I only spent money on I don't know if you want to factor in the twine and the duct tape and the glue, because I used that around my home anyway. But these skewers were only $1 for 30, so I got 60 of these skewers for about $2. The duct tape, I don't know if you want to factor in a piece of duct tape and a piece of twine and glue. Let's just say, I don't know, one of these sticks came out to maybe $2. Would that be fair? I think that might be fair, that this came out to about $2 worth of material here when you factor in everything. But oh, and the other thing is, this end of the skewers, these pointy things are very pointy. And I was like, what? So I banged them on the I banged the pointy tips onto the just onto the concrete outside, just to flatten them out so they didn't stick me or anybody else. And that seemed to be okay. And I flattened them out, you know. Or you can do, or you can use a hammer, whatever you want to do, and scrape them. I scraped them, banged them, and scraped them, and then they're fine. But these are working. And the nice thing about these that I just finished is the other one that's done. You can like practice on you practice your rudiments with these things, or any sticking patterns right on your leg, and they don't hurt as much as you know, drumsticks. After a while, you get like a red, starts to hurt, gets sore. So that's another thing you can do with these, just and they sound like a snare drum, right? So let me just show you how I did it. Like I told you, I used the twine. I wrapped the twine around, tightened it. Then I used duct tape around the twine to secure that. And that was the first thing that I did, and you can see that I did that on both ends here. But what I'm going to do now is I have to make sure that they're all kind of straight. They don't have to be perfect. But these are actually the right length too, because look at this. Is that weird? It's the exact same size. So if these start to frail and break off, not a big deal. I only spent, you know, $2. I spent maybe a total of $4 for 2 of these sticks, as opposed to dropping like, I think I dropped like, I don't want to say, maybe $15 on these rods, specialty rods, and they're great. They work really well. But I'm a cheapskate. Nah, I'm only kidding. I like to save money. You know, when money doesn't come easy for me. So I have to find, I'm always looking ways to cut corners. And this, if you're like me, this might work for you. If you can find these things, you should be able to find them. You know, I think they're still around in supermarkets. But these are 12 inches. So you want to get the 12-inch ones if you can find them. I know there's like shorter ones that are probably maybe 8 inches, and they may not work. So basically all I'm going to do here now is take my Gorilla Glue, and I'm just going to pour not as much as I did with the other prototype sticks, but I'm only going to pour very lightly here, because I'm thinking I'm holding the I'm going to be holding it from down here, and this will be where the striking point will be at the top here. So all I do, right, is take the glue, just frail these open a little bit, and then run the glue inside like that. Make sure you get in the middle, because it's going to be those skewers in the middle that are gonna slip out. And if you open these up, just frail them open like that, right, and then just squirt a little bit, not all that much. You really don't need a bunch. I overdid it the last time. But then I just flip it over. I'll do the same thing here. And this is going to secure the skewers so they don't creep out. And it's the middle ones that are going to slide out first, I've noticed. So I want to get in there and make sure that the glue hits the middle. And the glue is liquidy, and it takes, I don't know, it takes about 20 minutes to dry. So the glue's going to seep, is going to keep seeping into the middle as you go around. I'll do it like one more time here. And that's right, like that. Let that get in there, seep in there, and keep them together. That's pretty much it. And I've already used these on the drum kit. I don't hear any real difference. These actually sound good. They sound good on the cymbals. And again, it's like a new instrument. I've invented a new instrument. Anyway, that's my cutting the corners video. If you want to, hopefully I'll come up with more ways to save money. Kind of a sound. If you're looking for a thinner sound, just use less skewers. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, man, and thanks for watching.